I'm going to start recording. So welcome to our global webinar about the Global Affiliate Hubs Collaboration Fund from 2020. We are really excited to hear from the 3 winning teams, each of whom just completed their joint projects in the last few months. And the total fund, was a $10,000 fund distributed through small grants with these 3 different projects. So we are, we're very excited to hear basically what they did and what they learned, because I think a lot of the activities are very relevant for all of us hubs in the network and beyond, to help us think about how can we work together and how can we build our capacity to be more effective. So just a quick reminder, like there were 2 goals behind this collaboration fund. The first, again, was to really help build the individual capacity of each of our organizations, whether helping with issues of financial, sustainability or staff sustainability, etc. And of course, the second goal was to really help test new ways of working together across countries. So the 3 winning projects, had 7 different hubs collaborating with each other across 7 different countries, which is awesome. So basically, we'll keep things simple today. We'll have 3 brief presentations from the 3 winning projects. Those will be 10 minutes each. Please do stick to time, and I'll cut you off if needed. But yeah, we'll hear a 10-minute presentation about each of the projects, and then we'll have 5 minutes for questions. Right after, so people can share your reactions and questions. And then that should leave us with about 10 minutes at the end to talk about some next steps as a group. What are some of the key takeaways from these projects, and how can all of us apply what was learned and think about future collaborations? Yeah, if that sounds like a good plan, maybe can I see some thumbs up in person or with the reactions button? Awesome. Good. So so welcome again. If people also want to just take a minute, I know many of us know each other, but you can just say hello in the chat, your name and where you're calling from today, because we do have people from at least, I think 10 different countries online today, which is wonderful to see. Welcome again. I think for the order of our presentations today, I might ask if it's okay with you all, the partnership between Open Gov Hub Albania and Pakistan. Maybe you can present with us first. That's Bakhtawer and Edison and team. I see your presentation here, so I'm happy to put it on the screen and just tell me who will be presenting for today.
Hi Nara, hi everyone. I'm calling from Pakistan, Islamabad. I'm really sorry, there would be a background distortion because of its prayer time here. So there might be background noise. Hopefully it's not too much distracting, is it?
No, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. It's great that if you can put the presentation up, and I would just describe our project initially and share our learning from Open Gov Hub Pakistan, and then Edison will be sharing his learning from Open Gov Hub Albania, and then finally we can conclude with the learnings for cohorts. All the collaboration.
Okay, perfect. I'm just want to make sure I have the screen shared. Okay, is everyone seeing the presentation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have memorized it, so it's not for me. It's for everybody else, so they can keep up with it. Though it's not at all long, so probably we will save time on it.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Project initially, the idea came to us while we were in a peer learning session, where we were discussing areas that we are good in and areas where we need improvement. So one area that we identified was proposal writing is an area, or raising funds is an area that we want to improve in. So in that peer learning session, Edison from Open Hub Albania was also present. So this was a common interest for both of our hubs. So that's how we developed this idea that maybe we can run a boot camp, a learning boot camp, which can help our teams to also understand proposal writing skills and develop them, and also other our partners, thus giving us some prominence and improving our networks and showing what our hubs are all about. So that was the main goal of our projects. And we initially developed the proposal for a 2 months long learning lab, which was like for 1 month. Each week we would have sessions, and then in the next month we will work with the participants to develop those the proposals which they want to work on for themselves. But that due to lack of some funds, we decided to turn it into a boot camp, which was mostly based on a week, 4 days. We had this learning, 2 hours learning, a knowledge transfer period. And then finally, we had some 20 days with the participants to work on their own proposals. So this was our time duration. And if you can move through activities, Nada.
Yep. Yeah, just went there.
Yeah. The activity. So while going through this project, what we did was that initially after our selection, we opened call for proposals in Albania. We did not open call for applications in Pakistan because we already had selected team members who would be participating, and we did not want to have more participants than our capacity. So we opened our applications, and once we received enough applications, we selected 9 applicants from Open Gov Hub Albania. We had 3 applicants from Open Gov Hub Pakistan, and with this cohort, we developed, after assessing their bios, we started to work on the curriculum that we want to work on. Initially, when we proposed this program, we were assessing that it would be a more very initial basics of proposal writing, because mostly academics would be interested, or youth would be interested to develop these skills. But what we found out during the application selection process was that very senior people from NGO sector and government offices were interested in this program. So seeing that, we had to we modified our agenda to have some of sessions like donor lens or funding, developing funding pipelines, so that they would be knowing the basics, but what more we can add to their knowledge. So that was an area that we worked on, and then we developed a bit of a curriculum, an agenda for the 4 days delivery, and reached out to mentors in Pakistan and Nigeria and in Washington, who helped us develop that agenda. And then we developed a resource drive for all the participants, which had assignments, which had all the examples of our own organizational proposals and log frames and different resources that can help them develop those skills. After that, we had our 4 days delivery, and then we opened our space for where we promoted the applicants to develop their own proposals, and we can help them or mentor them to make them to improve their proposals. But we received only 1 log frame from 12 participants, and but two of the participants were working on that project. So that is one area that was a bit lacking, and I will move on to how we learned from this experience. If you can move to the next slide where the assumptions are mentioned. Yeah, so we moved in with 3 assumptions while planning this project. First was that all the participants would be eager and will have time to develop their own proposals. Second was that all the mentors would be from Pakistan or other countries. And the third was that that the basics of the proposal writing is same everywhere. But paradoxical to these assumptions, we had a very different sort of learning through this project, which I would like to share in the next slide, the impact and learnings from Open Gov Hub Pakistan. So the impacts were like we trained 12 people. There were all, of course, there was knowledge transfer. We had pre and post surveys which showed that there was increase in knowledge, and we had participants who we communicated with, and we understood different context through this program. We built networks in Albania. It was more that the at participant side, but in Pakistan it was more on mentor side, that we built this networks of mentors and curriculum that and then develop this business model, which is developed now, would help us to replicate this program and improve on it further ahead. The learnings that were paradoxical to our assumptions were that firstly, that to assume that participants would be interested in developing proposals for themselves, or they would have time, but is not a very feasible assumption, because usually professionals applied for it, and for professionals, people they do not have that time to develop proposals or add on to their daily burden. So one of our learning was that how not to increase on their burden, but help them learn within that time frame. So for that, what I was thinking that the way we planned it was that we would impart knowledge first, and then we would be asking them to develop their own proposals. If we did it in reverse, that would have been I think so that that would have been more useful, because community building was something very important in it. For community building of the participants, because you do not learn alone. If you have somebody to discuss it or to share the knowledge with, then that's a bit more that can motivate you. So for that, we did have WhatsApp groups and before the knowledge building sessions. But if we did it if we asked the participants for their previous proposals beforehand, and if we ask them for the areas where they would like more focus on, so it would have been a co-creative experience for them also, and then finally delivered the knowledge building part. That I think so that would have been a bit more successful.
And we have 2 minutes left.
Sorry. So now I will give it to Edison. Edison can share his own experience.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, everybody. This is Edison Franco from Albania, from the Open Gov Hub Albania. I would like to thank you, everybody, for being part of this amazing program, and especially Bakhtaur, that she was amazing through the beginning till the end. So she was like really great model how to run a successful project. And right now, to say the truth, for us, like Open Gov Hub Albania, it was really nice and important because like all the participants was from like leader of NGOs and persons who were working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of State, and then other municipalities with high rank positions. And as Baktawa said, that they was really, you know, like with good CVs, but at least they learned something and they spread the word in their work that they are doing. And just to confirm that we had a memorandum of understanding between the Open Gov Hub Albania and the Ministry of State, because they have like 4 of their organizations that want to cooperate with us and then develop even some projects with us, and including this one that we did with Pakistan. And I was really impressed with all the participants, because they said that it was good to hear that Open Gov Hub Albania is doing some great things to improve, you know, accountability, transparency, and civic engagement, and involving even international organization, which is Accountability Lab Pakistan. It was really great. Only the bad thing for us, it was the internet connection sometimes that was not so good, and but in general the project was really good. And then even other actors like municipalities, like Association of Municipalities where we are working, they are doing some memorandum of understanding, of memorandum of cooperation between our hub and their institutions. And to say the truth, I would like to thank again Baktawar for this amazing amazing work that she did.
Awesome, very good. Thank you so much, Edison. Thank you, Baktawar. Let's take a few minutes for questions before we go to the second project. I know many of us, you know, want to improve our proposal writing skills or help our members and our partners with this. So this is definitely a project, you know, you might want to consider at some point. So I hope it was helpful to hear some of their lessons. And for me, hearing the result about the MOU of cooperation between the new Open Gov Hub Albania and the Ministry of State, it sounds like this project helped make that possible, which is a really great result as well. So yeah, does anyone have a few questions for the teams in Pakistan and Albania?
Yeah, I had a question. You were saying, one of the things I thought was most interesting was you were saying that like good proposal writing is sort of the same everywhere. I thought that was a really nice insight that came out. And I was wondering if you had some, like a way to document some of like what that means of a good proposal, like something you could put out in a blog or something you could just share as a resource. Because I think people are always thinking good proposals are actually very different everywhere. So if there's any way you could put like some of your learnings around that in a way that you could share that, I'd love to know like what it means to have a good proposal.
Surely that's a good, that would be a good outcome for it. And I will surely develop the blog and will share it with the entire group.
Cool, and we can publish it too. So yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure if you're comfortable, again, sharing any like a blog, any part of the curriculum, I think would be very helpful for other hubs as well. Yeah. Are there other questions? I'll ask one final question and then we'll go to the next project. Do you think your results would have been different if it was an in-person training compared to virtual? Just want to hear any reflection about that.
I think, okay, Baktawar, you can go. You can start.
No, I think you would have better idea because you knew most of the participants.
Yeah, so like to say the truth, in person it will be more amazing because it can be more interactive and it can be, you know, like as I said in the beginning that it was problems with internet sometimes, and when the internet stuck, then it is bothering because even the participants that attended this program was in high-level positions, like, as I said, in the ministry, in the municipalities, leaders of NGOs. And sometimes it was like, oh, come on, it's not working. So we should, you know, like, it will be nice to be in person and to develop even a project in person. So I would say that it's more in person than through Zoom or other platforms.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I also think so that if it was in person, people would have that would be a time for people to come and collaborate and develop their own proposals, rather than when you're at home or at office do that same thing, then you have so many things, so you can't come out of it and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. That makes sense. Okay, very good. So we should have time at the end for a few final discussion on other takeaways. But thank you again to the team in Albania and Pakistan. And let's go next to our Latin America collaboration between CREA in El Salvador and Fundación Multitudes in Chile. I think Ruben will be sharing the screen. Is that right? You should be able to.
Thank you, Nida.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Perfect. Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Thank you. Well, good morning to everyone. My name is Ruben, and I am happy to share with you our experience conducting this joint market study about collaborative workspaces carried out for El Salvador and Chile. Well, but who we are. In my case, I'm from CREA Consultores in El Salvador. We are a subsidiary from the international development firm with headquarters in DC named Creative Associates. In CREA, we have expertise working on economic and social development, education, violence prevention, governance in our country, in El Salvador, and in the Central America region. We developed this research with Fundación Multitudes, which is an organization that promotes and strengthens the influence of civil society in decision-making process in Chile. Thanks to the Open Gov Hub program, we had the opportunity to get to know each other last year, realizing that we have a lot in common despite our natural differences, of course. For example, both of us we are part of the Global Affiliate Hubs program. We both are committed to strengthening and developing development of our countries. And of course, and this is like the main thing in common, we were both working, designing and developing our hubs. In our case, the Technology and Innovation Hub for Social Impact in El Salvador and the Open Government Citizen Lab in Chile. But you may wonder, hey, Ruben, how do you end up working together in this joint market study? As I mentioned a few seconds ago, both organizations were working hard in the process of developing of our hubs. We were just about to open our hubs until, I don't know if you know this word, COVID-19. I bet you do. It sounds familiar to you. The COVID stopped our plans because we didn't know what would happen with the quarantine, the lockdowns worldwide. So we had to pull all of our plans on hold. And that's when we heard about the collaboration fund for the Global Affiliate Hubs member. And we found this as a great opportunity to do this joint market study together. So we decided to bring together experts from both organizations in the same team that will face together this project, taking advantage, of course, of the experience and the skills of each of the members to strengthen the team. For example, Harold, Jaime, Jennifer, Dante, thanks for your effort and hard work. But how did we do it? And who better than our research expert at CREA Consultore and who lead us during this research to explain us, Jennifer?
Okay, Thank you, Ruben. And exactly from this context, we identified a great opportunity to carry out a market study that provides us a tool for making decisions about the implementation of our hubs. For that reason, we defined the following objective for the study. Strengthen the development and positioning of the Hub of Technology and Innovation for Social Impact of GREA and the Open Government Citizen Laboratory of Multitudes Foundation through a tool that helps determine guidelines and recommendations for each hub to generate positioning strategies in the market and to adapt the business model to a phased one, based of the behavior of the Salvadorian and Chilean markets after COVID-19, as well as the principle of the global affiliate hubs. To achieve the objective, we implemented a methodology based on two elementary phases. The first one was a collaborative methodological designs and consultation, and the second one was an exercise to transform the data collected for the generation of a final report. In the first phase, the team designed a characterization exercise for both hubs through the Canvas business model to identify and classify the stakeholders that make up the interest group for each hub that should be considered within the study. Also design guides and research instruments to the appropriate context of each interest group and analyze the existing supply and demand in the Salvadoran and Chilean markets. In the data collection stage, GREA and the Multitudes Foundation use virtual interviews and digital surveys that facilitate the systematization of the results. We use data storage, organization, processing, treatment, and transformation techniques, applying cross, filters, and construction of variables. For the analysis, use dashboard by Power BI and Tableau to facilitate the segmentation of information and identify patterns in the results. Specifically in El Salvador, we designed two different instruments, one for clients or potential clients and another for potential partners. In Chile, also designed two different instruments, one for hubs and coworks users and other for hubs and coworks managers. Both countries designed their instruments according their approach for each study. Also, we designed an instrument for the global affiliate hubs members to make a total of 5 consultation instruments, obtaining 107 responses from 9 different countries that include El Salvador and Chile. As part of the methodology, GREA and the Multitudes Foundation during the development of the study have maintained a work methodology based on collaboration, constant communication, and mutual support. Both teams held weekly follow-up meetings to share identify information that were important inputs to incorporate into the study. Like Ruben said, the dream team assigned for the development of this study consists of 5 members, and the duration of the study was 4 months with 800 hours of collaborative work. Jaime, do you remember that during the development of the study, we found some challenges that we have to deal with, and which at the same time left us many lessons learned, right, Jaime?
Right. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Well, there was a real challenge for us to work together in this project because of COVID, principally. We have a definition of what the market's supposed to be and what the instrument's supposed to look. But at the end of the day, we realized that we don't have the same concepts about what of the users of and the beneficiaries were. So we decided to use an instrument for each country. And also, each country have different developments of the market. The Chilean market is a lot more developed. We find out around the 150 cohorts around the entire country, and which they perform differently between before and after COVID. And for El Salvador, there was no market at all. So it was this difference of the markets had a really nice challenge for both of us. And besides that, in El Salvador, especially, they went through the selection process, so they don't have they don't have much participation of the regional governments. So that also makes another challenge for not just for them, also for us, to how gonna engage with people outside of the capital city, which is really important to make a real hub. So
we're almost done with time, just the time warning. We're almost done.
Oh, no. Okay, don't worry, let's go. So, and for Chile, the difficulty was principally we couldn't do the interviews on. Actually, we have to make all the interviews by Zoom or digital surveys, and that didn't really help us to make all the big scope that they want to show. But we went to improve our communication with our partners in El Salvador, and we use a unified methodology, and we support the instrument in conjunction with CREA. So I think we learned a lot how to work together in this pandemic environment, and that gives it to a lot of conclusions that actually we work together, right, Ruben?
Exactly, Jaime. Well, the first conclusion is we have to shift our mindsets because at the beginning of the project, both of us, we thought about the hubs as a physical space, and the research tell us about the people is expecting a community, and the community, it can be in virtual. The important is the people and the knowledge, and how to share the knowledge between the among the members. Um,
Okay, another interesting insight was right services. That we found was the people required specific services focused mainly on the creation of community and networking. They are looking for effective services that allow them to enhance the work of their organization through collaboration with others.
Exactly. And as you can imagine, our next and final steps are focused on adapting our business model to our market needs, to create communities with open government principles through the establishment of our virtual hubs that can be scaled, of course, into physical space in a coming future. So at the end, and we hope to invite you soon to the unboxing of our both hubs. So thanks to everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ruben. Thank you, Jaime. Thank you, Jennifer. We'll just take a few questions quickly, just since we're a few minutes behind, but this was a wonderful presentation, and I love your moving slides. Like that was really helpful. Thank you. Yeah, so especially again for other hubs which may still be starting, I think it's very interesting because CREA and Fundación Multitudes, both of you are well-established organizations, who have done many other programs, but the hub is a new program for you. And so it was a good time to do the market study together, I think. So yeah, do we have any questions from the room? I'll ask one just very quickly. You said one of the biggest services, which people are looking for, is basically networking and community. Can you describe any examples you heard from your study about, like, what does that look like? What does success look like to offer a community and networking support?
Sure. One of the interviews we make with the former colleagues in Chile, actually it was like a timeline for the organizations inside of each hub. So they say the hubs or the coworking in this matter should be like a incubator of organizations. So in the beginning, gives all the tools, the specific tools to start to work in the vision on the mission of the organization, try to connect it with other organizations with similar approach. And in the end of the, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, to graduate to another level to be established. So they actually put this really timeline between what actually means to be successful and give you all the tools on the community, on the networking to move forward with the organization. So that's pretty much what they say. Don't give you more session with hacks, just give you more sessions with tools and knowledge to improve our work.
I just want to add that this contribution from Open Gov Hub, I think, was great in our case, GAH Consultores, and definitely on Multitudes. As I've been saying to Nada, we've been reluctant actually to open our hub in times of COVID because it was a risk. You have to do a great investment in terms of refurnishing the place, setting it up for the hubs, and many of the people we had in our hub as partners or customers, just not customers, our partners, they were also reluctant to invest at this point just because, we didn't know how long this is going to take for us to just go to normality. So, but this assessment, and it was a small grant, but it was the contribution was tremendous, just because it allows us to think out of the box. We've been talking about a virtual hub, but now we have the data behind of all the responses we got from all the potential. We work with donors and international organizations. Our work is development, and what we're trying to do is a hub for social impact on technology and innovation. And they don't mind that we do this virtually initially. So that's a great it's great data that we found. And also partners, some of them are already working from home, some are working already in some offices, and they want to be part of our hub in a virtual way. So our challenge right now as CREA is to develop the virtual hub with all the how you strengthen that community, with all the benefits for our members, with the right group, as if we were just doing this physically, but now it's a virtual type of effort that we're going to launch in the following months, 2 months or so, 2 or 3 months max, with the right social media, with the right, as if we were launching a physical space, and this is going to give us, as our plan for do this in a year, and then moving after the COVID times to establishing the hub in a physical location will be much easier with all the clients and all the community of our partners just working together. So we wouldn't be so sure about doing this at this point without having had the chance to do this joint market assessment. So thank you so much, everyone at Open Gov Hub, for this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you and congratulations to CREA in El Salvador and Multitudes in Chile. Yeah, I know you guys maybe were like on the phone every day with each other at some point, so I know you worked hard, and yeah, I hope it's a continual partnership. Awesome. So I'm very happy to introduce now our third and final project, which had 3 hubs involved. So Impact Cove in Nigeria, Kumasi Hive in Ghana, and ElSpace in Tunisia. I think Ola is going to be presenting for us. Is that right? And this is a perfect connection with what we just discussed, since their project was to create a digital commons community for connecting their members of their hubs. So yeah, we're excited to hear from you. And then I'll try to leave a few minutes at the end as well to talk about our next steps as a group. So yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon from here. This is Ola from Impact Cove. I just want to be sure everybody can hear me.
Yes, it's a little bit echoing, but if you just speak loudly, I think we'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because our network is somewhat not good, but yeah, trying to share that. Okay. Yes, so our project is a Open Gov Hub Tirana, which is basically a collaboration between Cove, Kumasi, Hive, and ElSpace. Three of Kumasi Hive is located in Accra, Ghana, ElSpace, Tunis in Tunisia, and of course Cove in Abuja, Nigeria. And the whole idea around all of us share something in common, which is basically, apart from our membership of the Global Affiliate Hub Affiliation, we are also heavily interested in social innovation and working with entrepreneurs and with the technology involved as well. So we all know what happened in 2020. I mean, the pandemic hit, COVID-19 was making it difficult for almost all the co-working spaces and the different hubs to actually operate. Most of us will have to close for several months because of lockdown in different countries. So it becomes also important to understand that how else to help connect beyond the physical space. Because before this time, we all know that most of us are used to creating input and around using our location, the actual physical space, as a place for impact and connection. But now the pandemic made it important to start to think about, begin to think about outside of the physical space, but more into the virtual space. And of course, the project came from the idea and that need. And then we said, okay, can we create a digital community whereby on one end we are able to still continue to connect as a community of users or children entrepreneurs, impact makers, and change makers, different in our hub at local level, and also connect outside of our hub with other users and other part of. So basically removing the physical constraint of location, whether in our location or barriers of geographical location in our countries. So the goal is to create that platform where that connection can happen virtually. We do understand that there are some existing platform where some collaboration can happen, but we wanted to do something that is specifically designed for us and the custom for our use. So that's how we developed the platform. We're supposed to be there where we can share connections, create a profile, talk about interest, create a forum, and keep the learning outside of physical space going on. So like I said, it was the project about virtual community, creating a virtual community of users of different hubs within the global network, and potentially more than that in the future. And everybody can come together and then interact and share. We can continue to collaborate and work on different projects, share ideas, share thoughts, share opinions in different ways, share opportunities to grow without actually doing this in physical location. So essentially, we did create a platform, and then we did create like a walkthrough of the platform. Then it is an actual focus on impact, because the way they put it as in set up, we really would not know how much potential of the impact until much later down the line when the platform is used by we have more people using it, and we can come back and do continuous assessment of how much connections and collaboration and sharing and the community engagement is happening within the community. So, but the platform is there to just essentially do everything that said. So I would use that to access the platform. That is the website, oghcommons.net. And then also there's a secondary link, which is oghcommons.org. Both links would get you to the location. And then when you go there, you just want to do this first. So basically you create an account. You are allowed to create an account, and then you can choose which affiliation of the certain global affiliate hub you're affiliated to. And then once you create an account, you're able to connect and then confirm your email address and then create a profile, put what you want people to know. I mean, we all do this all the time, different social platforms anyway. So, and then we can come back there and then you log into the site, and then you create an account. You choose your preferences, how you want to communicate on the platform, who you want to see, and the different things that you want to show. And then of course, there's a different component of the platform that you can explore in terms of you can either join your local group, which is we created a local group of each of the hubs as a local group, and also external members of the hub, and also but subject to approvals by the hub administrator. And then actually, this is an interface of the platform that you sign in and you log into the account, and that's what you see. You can see an activity profile of what's happening, who's liking what, who's making what comment, who's posting what. And you can also see your personal preferences, who is within your own private network, and then within the brother platform itself. You can see a timeline, you can see group activity of the group that you joined or you're a member of. You can also see the different forums for different interactions and different topics, and then you can also create your private messages within different members of the platform as well. So you can see right here every single member of the hub as a group. So we expect to have one person from each of the participating group affiliate hubs to be the group moderator for each of the hubs, to have members, to accept members, and to make sure that there's activity within the group as well, to make sure that happens. So we are happy to change some of the features of some of the logos we didn't have it. So we put the Open Gov Hub logos. Some of them are just random pictures of the city. Some we're able to sort out some images as well. So we're happy to do some more customization, which the group managers or administrator for each of the groups can do that and update it. And then, so again, what are the features? What can you do with the platform? So essentially, this is just our own close connection within the NGO community to have a discussion. We have local groups. So we have, like I mentioned earlier, you can, at individual hub level, you can coordinate at that level. And then outside of the hub level as well, go and join another hub if you are allowed. I mean, basically just click to say join, and then you can determine your preference when you're setting up the account or moderator. And of course, there's discussion forum. Anybody can start a discussion forum. You can share ideas, you can share interests, you can talk about mutual issues that are all important to all of us in this work. And of course, there's a blog that allows us. And I think it's also welcome to basically put course posting or course references of other resources from other sites that you might find interesting links. So it allows us to share links from different places as well. So if you read a very nice article that might be useful or a resource material you want to share within the NGO community, you just post it as a discussion or as an activity, and then you can also do that. So it also has private messaging. So if I have someone who is joined from another hub, another country, and I look at their profile, I have common interest, I can message the person and say, hi, this is Ola from Impact Hub. I'm doing this and I'm interested in, can we work on this together? What do you think of it? So collaboration, that's how. And also the event listing. So you're able to basically share the event calendar, and we'll be able to share some events around, because there will be people that will continue to put some of the activity on the platform. We look for some either events within individual hubs or other events that might be of interest, just for to share activity as well. There's a live activity feed.
Sorry,
so
we have just a couple minutes left for the presentation.
Who is talking?
Sorry, just a couple minutes left.
Okay, so I'll just let I'll let Adhem to take the rest of the slides, so you can just talk about the learning and the impact and also.
Sure, thank you so much, Ola. So yeah, just a couple items about learning and next steps and impact from my side. I'll try to be very quick. So yeah, in terms of what we learned, that one, collaboration across geographies is not easy, especially like with our hubs, like busy in either creation or either with new programs, and mainly the changing schedules and the government regulations on the local level. Complementarity is key in this kind of projects. So especially in the beginning of the project, the inputs from all the three of us have been very helpful in getting a lot of time, especially in like the tech side of things and selecting a vendor and doing all that work. So complementarity is always great, and it will save a lot of time and effort. Future thinking and sustainability discussions make all the difference in the mindset and resource allocation. So like building this project, and I think it's very like the amount of money is so low, but I'm very proud that we achieved the building of the platform, even though now it's still in beta version, but like it's really considerable investment. Let's say we got a great value, and we had to be very creative in terms of thinking about what the future looks like for the platform and how to sustain it in terms of programs and funding, like, or covering the costs, and that has been very like having that discussion early in the beginning helped a lot in shaping what we're building basically. Can we go to the next slide? The other one.
Okay. Sorry, well, I think you were on the next step slide, if you can go back to it.
That's all right. So I'll just start. So for the next steps, we got a couple activities lined up. So mainly the appointment and presentations of the platform to the affiliate members who would like to join. I mean, we'd love you all to join, of course, but if you require any presentation or introduction, please let us know. Training of members to lead the platform, and this will happen on a hub level. So ElSpace's members and team will be onboarded on the platform, as well as the Kumasi Hive and Cove. Preparing and drafting blog posts. Just to keep like start the wheel of blog posts and sharing knowledge, because a lot of emphasis on knowledge sharing is part of this Global Affiliates Hub program. Organization of local community events, community moderators training, and community administrator trainings. So these are the main next steps that are happening. We go to the next slide, which is about the impact. Yeah, so the impact, yeah, so we can't really demonstrate impact in terms of what the platform allowed us to do for now, because we're still in the beta version, as I said, but I'm sure in the next couple of months, we will have tangible success stories of using the platform and collaboration between members across the world, basically. So yeah, I think that's it from my side. Thank you so much, and we can go with the questions.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Ola. Thank you, Nino. Yeah, let's take just a couple questions on this, and then I want to end with a few other points. Yeah, questions on this project or ideas that people have for some next steps, ways that you might apply some of these learnings in your own work. I think just a really quick one from me is, yeah, if you've had any users test the platform, and if so, what's the early feedback which you've gotten so far?
We've had a few people log on with accounts and test it from our different ops, and I think so far we've had a few feedback on some of the things we want to be able to improve. But so far, it's just about content. Because again, when we do the community moderators training and then the administration as well, the reason why people want to come into the platform is the content, and the quality of the content is really engagement. But other than that, I think so far we have a good interface, and then to the activity start with. It's very easy and very easy to navigate, to go straight into what exactly happened there. But the most important thing is to make sure the content is relevant and is engaging, so that engagement can be consistent.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Other questions for OGH Commons? A quiet group. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm really happy that, you know, each of the projects is obviously addressing common challenges. So again, the challenge of COVID-19 and the impact on community building and these other topics as well. I think it's all relevant for all of us in different ways. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much again to the team, Impact Cove, ElSpace, and Kumasi Hive. And just big congratulations to all 3 winning projects. We can give you a virtual round of applause and some claps and thumbs up. Yeah, it was obviously a very small amount of grants and a short period of time, but the goal again was to give you the chance to test ways of working together. And it's really good to hear about your lessons and ways to move forward. I'm going to try to offer just 3 quick takeaways, which I learned from today. And then I'll ask for anyone to share any next steps that you would like to suggest. So very quickly from the first project, the proposal writing lab, one good takeaway is to kind of co-create the activities with your users as much as possible, maybe reversing, you know, the process for next time of working with the proposals they already have or the things they've developed to do the training. Second idea from the second project is to really test your assumptions with the partners and the users that you want to work with and get their feedback and use that to update your plans. And then third takeaway from the third project is having complementary partners. So not everyone doing the same thing, but each partner having a different specialty helps you do a lot with very limited resources. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for sharing your learnings. I do think, yeah, at the very least, we'd like to do a blog, you know, with summarizing some of these takeaways from the different projects. And I know we're finishing up at our time. I just want to see if anyone in the call wants to suggest any additional next steps for us as a group based on what you learned today.
Let us think about it. This is it could be good to do something together. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Any final thoughts before we close? All right. Well, thank you again so much, everyone. It's really inspiring just to see, again, you know, so many different partners working across so many different countries. And again, it's a good reminder of the common challenges that we face, even though the work is always hard and it takes a lot of effort. So yeah, I'll also, you know, keep thinking about ways that we can integrate this, but this is our second collaboration fund, second annual collaboration fund, and it's definitely something we hope to continue in the future, in addition to finding other ways that we can do joint projects together. So yeah, again, thank you. Congratulations to all of the projects. Please feel free to share any feedback with me as you know, offline, and wish you all a really great rest of your day. And let's see each other in the OGH Commons digital community where we can continue the conversation.
Great, thank you so much. Good seeing everybody.
You too.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. See you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.